Hey guys, it's me, Julia Maxine, and for today's video, we are gonna talk about something very serious, something really relevant, and something that has been causing so much damage, not just to family, friends, and loved ones, but most especially to those who are suffering from it. I am here to educate, to give people the knowledge on how tough this battle really is. I am here to talk about mental health awareness. And disclaimer, I am no professional, I am just a grade 12 student and I am speaking from experience from the years that I have been battling with depression as well. And I hope you guys stay and listen and I hope you pick up something from me. Okay, so first, what is mental health? This is something that everyone has. This is something that every person should take care of. Good diet, healthy lifestyle, and of course, most especially, we have to feed our brains nice words. We have to encourage our brain to think positively. We have to enclose ourselves in an environment wherein we have support. We hear nice things, and of course, people should love, respect, and be kind to each and every one of us. So, let me elaborate mental health even more. Alright, so to elaborate mental health disorders specifically, there are two types: not physical, psychological, and clinical. So, psychological is a wide range of mental disorders. This includes almost everything: dramatic, anxiety, sleeping disorders, addictive disorders, learning disabilities, what else? OCD, depression, bipolar related disorders, and stuff like that. While clinical, on the other hand, are psychological. I was supposed to say physical. Psychological disorders that reach the chronic end of spectrum. These are the disorders that needs more help, professional help to be exact, medicine, and continuous therapy. Okay, so mental health disorders aren't just in our minds. It isn't made up. It isn't a joke. It isn't something that you can act. These are serious disorders. This can be biological. This can be genetic. There are so much factor that can affect your mental health. And I wanna inform you guys that we have to take this very seriously because sometimes people think it's a joke, people think that it's lack of faith, but no, it's really a thing, it's really valid, it's true, and it is really happening, and sadly it can take lives, and we have to remember that. We have to keep that in our minds that we have to do something about it. We can't just laugh at people having it. um because sometimes our brain lacks something. I forgot what it's called. Neurotransmitters. Our brain doesn't, we are sad, but sometimes something triggers it, and then that neurotransmitter isn't enough in our brain, so we get to say really really low, really really dark. So I just hope that you guys know that, and I hope you give yourselves time to educate yourself, to give yourself knowledge about these issues, because I tell you, it is real. So now I'm gonna give you guys some, not really tips, but red flags or warnings on how to detect and know when to see a professional. So first, if you try and search on Google, it's always this, let's say, 2 week rule. You have to like feel the signs and symptoms. You have to see the signs and symptoms of the person battling with it for 2 consecutive weeks. So, what are the signs and symptoms? First of all, I'm gonna say the signs and symptoms for almost all disorders. I'm not saying all, but most of the disorders. These are the common signs and symptoms that you may see. First is irritability, sensitivity, the obvious changes in behavior. It's either she becomes too much or too less of it. And then excessive sleeping or lack of sleeping, and then excessive eating and lack of eating as well. You can see the changes in his or her sleeping patterns, and even his or her weight. Those are the common signs and symptoms of mental health disorders. So here's a reminder for those people who are having a hard time understanding people with this kinds of disorder. First of all, if you can't say anything, at least just listen. Sometimes your ear is the heart, and sometimes presence is enough. Knowing that you're there beside, listening and caring, seeing the sincerity in you, that you wanna be there for that person, and sometimes enough. You don't have to say much. You don't have to, give so much advice. Ears and sincerity is enough. And then second, this applies to everything, not just to people with these disorders, but to every single person. At least just, be kind, try to be understanding. Imagine yourself in his or her shoes, or at least know that every single person, cliche it may seem, are battling with something secretly in their own private lives. So that is very important, not just to people with disorders, mental health disorders, physical disorders, but to everyone. Let's all try to be kind and understanding to each and everyone that we need. And then third, this for me is very important, especially to people battling with mental health disorders. We have to be respectful, and let's not make this is a joke. This is not something that we can laugh about. This is not something that we can joke about and, pull the trigger just out of the blue just to make other people laugh. Because it's not a joke. As I was saying, it is never a joke. Joking about suicide, joking about this kind of stuff is not funny. Sometimes you have to be aware that it can be triggering. People beside you may be secretly battling with something like that, and then you're gonna joke about it. You never know what can happen, what can be triggered inside them. So just please respect. If you can't respect the person, at least respect his or her disorder. Know when to stop, know your limits, know when and when not to say anything. So at least those, minor etiquettes, those little manners will matter most, especially to these kinds of disorder, to the issues that we don't really know and we're not knowledgeable enough. So there, respect, listen, the sincerity and kindness. And then here, I wanna give a short message to those who are battling from depression. Um, First, don't be afraid of voicing out what you're feeling, and how it feels like to be in that place. And if you're scared of letting, let's say, your parents know, if you're having a hard time letting your first family know, at least go to your guidance counselor or your most trusted teacher, or at least your best friend that can, not really motivate, but at least let your parents know that you're suffering, that you're having a hard time. And then second, educate other people if you can. But I'm not really forcing everyone because some are really scared of voicing out. But number one, don't be scared of voicing out what you're feeling and what you're battling with. And then third, most important thing is, do not be ashamed of your disorder. This is not you. This is not what defines you. This is just a disorder, and we can conquer it. We can do something about it. We can take meds to keep. Okay, so I ran out of storage, so I had to delete some clips. Anyway, as I was saying, this is disorder, so this doesn't define you. You can take meds, you can go to therapy. I'm just trying to say that it can be fixed. It can end. You can handle it. You can learn how to handle it well. So don't be ashamed of it because it's not you. Actually, people who fights from this, I believe, are the strongest people on an earth, because it's hard to be in that darkness trying to see that little light of hope. You don't know how hard it is until you're there, and I'm saying this because I know how hard it is, and sometimes I can be amazed with the fact that how am I still here, because damn, I'm just hands up to those people, to us. I'm hands up to us. And then fourth, this is important because we never know when we can trigger other people. We have to be also sensitive with the things that we post, with the things that we say on social media, with the things that we rant about, especially in Facebook or on Twitter. The things that we share and we retweet can sometimes be triggering. So I hope that we can be more sensitive about that and more cautious about that. So there, guys, we're done, and I hope this video inspires you to, educate yourselves more and be more knowledgeable about these kinds of issues. And I hope this gives you the heart to help, to understand, and to be nicer to the people around you. So this is it. I hope you guys somehow enjoyed and most importantly, learned something about me. Bye! Grabe. I said, clinical.